After slogging out back-to-back marathons recently, I've been suffering from crippling fatigue and my performances have plummeted. But I finally realised what the problem is. I'm obviously just not training hard enough. It's time to up the volume and get to pounding those pavements. Over 35 kilometres every day, it's a constant game of injury roulette. You never know what new ache or pain you'll wake up with each morning, but that's half the fun of it. So this is what a 250 kilometre week actually looks like. So if you've watched the last couple of videos, you know I'm a little bit cooked at the moment. So this week we're taking it back to basics. Whenever I've been running well, I followed a very similar formula, very similar weekly structure, and that's what we're going for this week. So it'll be the first time in over a month I'm not racing, just gonna try and get a good training stint in. Turn this ship around because lately I've been knackered. I'm not sure what's going on. I've not been training too hard, so I don't think it's an overtraining thing, fatigue thing. And actually last week was my lowest mileage week in forever. I think since Gold Coast Marathon. And so I'm hoping now I'll get the benefit of that this week and I'll be on the up again, refreshed, ready to go. Now for my OG fans, the day one viewers who saw the very first video I put out, you might recognize this spot here. This is my classic long run spot. I've got the train out to the river and we're gonna go for 30K or so today. If I feel great, then we'll push it up to 40 and it'll be a steady pace. So maybe 350 to 4 minute Ks. I ran that Ekiden yesterday, so maybe there'll be a bit of fatigue in the legs. We'll find out once we get going. But just trying to get a solid long run shift in. And that's always been my staple on a Monday to kick the week off strong. Oh, 2 hours later and we survived. We got through it. 32K in the bank and nothing special. That Monday long run's more of a time on feet thing. Maybe recently I've been pushing it a little hard. I'll get up sort of 8K later, just a little jog. Now I'm gonna go get some food in, bit of YouTube editing. These videos always take so much longer than you think. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just knock it out in like a day. And then 4 days later, I'm still going. So I hope people have been enjoying them. The support has been quality so far. So thanks everyone for watching. And then later I've got a Japanese class. I've been slacking a little bit. I've been focusing a bit too much on the conversation practice, but the actual grammar, the vocabulary, yeah, I'm going backwards, I think. So I returned home from my run and was met by a wonderful sight. We've got the Fukuoka Marathon race day shoes. It's got the Nike tick, of course, but I won't be revealing yet which shoes I've gone for. We'll leave that for another video. But all I'm gonna say is I may not be in great marathon shape, but at least I'm gonna be looking fresh on race day. And the other little goodie that we've got is a treat for myself. I've only gone and splashed out on a brand new coffee machine. The days of instant coffee are no longer. I'm moving up in the world and I've invested in this bad boy. I'm very excited to crack this open, give it a try, and hopefully this can really level up my morning experience. Cool. 5 AM on a Wednesday, that can only mean one thing. It's the speed session day with the group at Yoyogi Park, and it's an absolute classic. As I said, this week I'm taking it back to basics. Got the instant coffee here, very disappointing. I wanted to christen the new machine, but it just takes too long. I got like half an hour to get out of bed, get changed, get ready, get some food down. Got a banana here and a little energy bar, and then be out the door because I've got to be warming up by about 5:30. God, getting out for the run while it's still pitch black outside, it's never fun. So yesterday was just an easy day. Got out for a classic double. And also this week I've been doing a fair amount of S&C, core, plyometrics. I try and do a bit of something every day just to try and stay on top of that injury prevention. God, the last few days my back has been so tight, like just on the left side, so some kind of imbalance. But to be completely honest, to run a 250K week consistently, you're going to be in a lot of pain a lot of the time. So I've basically had to break all the traditional rules, like rest when you're sore, like if you're feeling tired, take a day off. If I was going to get up to the high mileage weeks, then I had to just push through all those little aches and pains and just hope that my body would eventually adapt, which is always what happens. So even though right now I'm pretty stiff, I'm pretty sore, I'm sure in a few days it will be fine. there we go. Managed to, get out actually 12. I got pretty good after 10, so I was like, oh, might as well knock out 2 more. Doing it with a group, it's just so much more fun, so much easier. Just get in the train and roll along. See, I think that was a classic back in the day, the K reps, 10 of them. And I feel like in ages I haven't done them here at Yoyogi. So we're bringing it back, the classic old school Yoyogi reps with the boys, Team MK, solid sesh, good stuff. Now the Kenyans are notorious for doing their jogs easy, very slow, but I think Japanese take it to the next level. I've just been running sort of 4K or so with the boys just around the park, and now I'm just jogging back home. The average pace, 6:40 per K, over 10-minute miling I think. So we literally are walking. You could power walk quicker, but they just see it as there's no point going hard on the easy bit. Like after the session, you might as well chill, take it easy. Right, Thursday, medium long run day, and this is a little bit of a steadier effort, so I've decided to get out to the river again. We're mixing it up though, so on Monday, went to the Tamagawa, and that's the river to the south, but then if you go north from central Tokyo, you've got the Arakawa, both prime long run spots, uninterrupted, unbroken routes, which is near impossible in the center of Tokyo, unless you want to do laps around a park. To try and get like a decent steady effort like this, it's going to be a nightmare, just dodging, weaving people, tiny little streets, endless stop signs. It's not what you want. So yesterday got that decent session in, but of course after a good session, it's always going to be bad calves. Yeah, little banged up on the right side, which is a classic. It's nothing to worry about though, I'm used to that. And it's something that I'll always just push through, run through, and by tomorrow I'm sure it will be fine. But actually as well, we've got these bad boys that I'll be trying out. So the new Vaporfly 6, and I had the 5s. I always used to do my steady runs in them. A lot of people were slating the 5s, said they were some absolute units, like just bricks on your feet, but I didn't mind it. I thought they were decent. But I've heard good things about these, and I'd put about 1,000K into the Zoom 5s. So I thought it's probably time for a change, or that's an injury waiting to happen. So this will be my first time review. They look fresh, gotta say that colorway, ooh, tasty. Now it's unbelievably windy, so I won't even attempt to vlog this run. You probably can't hear anything, but let's take a look at that. Booyakasha, 26Ks. We averaged about 350s, and the way out was brutal. I swear, it was a bloody hurricane I was running into. 355s, felt like I was killing myself. But then as soon as I turned back around, oh, easy, 345s, no problem. Like the calf started to ease up as we got going, but it was replaced by the left lower back pain that I'd had earlier in the week. As one injury subsides, the other one picks up. It's basically perfect homeostasis. That's what you want. Nice bit of balance. And in terms of those bad boys, the Zoom 6, yeah, pretty solid. They weren't revolutionary. I've had people say like, oh, the 5s are useless and these 6s are like a game changer, but maybe a little bit lighter. Apart from that, I couldn't really tell the difference. But yeah, solid sort of steady long run shoe, so I'll be sticking with those. But overall, another day ticked off. Just got out for a little jog later and a gym sesh, and then easy day Friday before the pinnacle of the week, the big one, the Saturday long session. So it's all gone well so far. I feel like I'm on the up, but I've still got to tick off that marathon session, which is what I've been struggling with recently. So that's the real challenge. It's a fresh Saturday morning, and that can only mean one thing. We're back at Yoyogi, the usual stomping ground for the longest session of the week. The weather here is mad. We've gone from 25 degrees last week to like 5 this morning. I'm gloved up, and because of that I woke up this morning just a lot of phlegm in the old throat. It's lovely stuff, but I can feel the start of a cold coming on. So popped a vitamin C. I'll be loading up on oranges today, and we've got to battle through that. But I think I'd definitely take this weather any day over the hot, humid summer that we've had until now. This is the optimum session or race conditions, so it's happy days. And I was thinking I'd probably have to solo this session, but then luckily one of the boys in the group said he was doing 4x5K off a 3-minute kind of jog, and it's basically what I'd been planning. I was going to go a little bit harder, try and hit target marathon pace, but you know what? if I can get a group, then the effort's gonna be way easier. So what I'm thinking is I'll do 3 reps with the boys. They're going 320 pace, so 1640 for the 5K. And then if I'm feeling good, I'll pick up and do 2 to 3 reps on my own, trying to get closer to like 315, 310. But yeah, it all depends how the body feels, if the calf holds up. But I'm up for it, so let's finish off this week strong. Come on, the boys. Session complete and success, I'd say, all round pretty solid. I actually didn't really end up filming. I was thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I want to be able to just switch off, like sitting with the group, not have to fuck around with this camera thinking about, oh, get a shot here. Content comes second, training first. But basically it was 4 sets with the group. While I'm running with the group, I'm basically getting a free ride. So even if the pace is slightly slower than what I'd ideally want, it was kind of 320s for those 4. It's not like I'm having to absolutely kill myself, bury myself to do it, because I only had to take maybe 4K out the front, out of the 20K. And then after that, so the others stopped, and I ended up ripping a quick 5K. Quickest 5K I've ran in ages. So it ended up being 15:25, so 305Ks. 305s didn't feel that hard. So funny to think that on the weekend before, that Ekiden, to run 312s for that 10K, that felt like I was going flat out. So I think we can say, I am back. Let's go.
Oh, and there we go, we done it. We survived the week, 250K in the bank, light work. So it's Sunday now and it's time to break down the week, get into all those nerdy running details so we can see what actually went into it, because there was a fair bit that went on outside of the running. So overall, I ran 14 times, so twice every day, standard. I actually find that even after a massive morning session, just getting out for an easy jog, like doesn't have to be long, 10K, 8K, something like that, and keeping it nice and chill just helps the next day actually feel better. My body's just got so used to it that having complete time off, like I end up feeling useless. My legs just stiffen up. It's rough. I've basically got an addiction to running. I need it. I crave those miles. And so we hit 2 sessions, so a speed session and a longer session, as well as a long steady run and a midweek medium long steady run. And then everything else was easy running. I also got in 2 S&C, strength and conditioning sessions, 3 core and stretching sessions, and 2 plyometric sessions. And then on 3 of those easy days, I hit some hill sprints after my double run. Just get their legs turning, try and put a little bit of speed back into their legs. And I found it actually helps my calf as well. That I've said before, that's always been my kryptonite that's constantly playing up. And I think those hill sprints help to kind of load the calf, put it under strain. So then hopefully it's not a shock when you suddenly go and smash a session out. And then looking at the breakdown of like easy, steady, hard running. So easy running, we hit 152K out of the 250. Steady, we hit 68K. And then hard running 30K. So it's basically that perfect pyramid, that triangle, that easy running base, the sort of steady running glue in between, and then hard running at the top. And I think all of those elements are important to build the perfect week. So comparing to last week, I only just got over, 160K. So nearly doubled it this week. And I felt so much fresher this week. It seems like that little 2-week period where I don't know what was going on, but it was a rough patch. But I think we're through that. And so it's good to be back in business. I do just feel my best when I'm running around that 250K week. And so for me, that's been the key to success. But I think what you can take away from this is that, yeah, it looks like every week it's no problem. I'm just sort of knocking out this consistent 1,000K a month, like 250K weeks, but I'm still waking up in a fair amount of pain every day. But I think if you want to really improve, get better, then you got to take those risks. You got to take a gamble, which has been fully my philosophy. And it's not the safest option. I'm not going to go and recommend it, but if you want to test yourself and really find out how good you can possibly be, like what your limit is, then you're going to have to push the mileage, push the intensity, and run through those kind of aches and pains. Because a lot of the time what I found is that they never turn into anything major. As long as I stay on top of the sleep, the fueling, the kind of stretching, S&C, all of that stuff, I can usually get over a little niggle in a few days. But if you've got any specific questions about how I got up to this volume, how I handle the mileage, that kind of thing, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Ran to Japan. And I think this week was a perfect example of my motto: train harder, not smarter.